There, I'll start all over. It's 10 a.m. Friday, March 28th, 2025, and this meeting of the Arizona Oil and Gas Conservation Commission is called to order, and this is a special meeting. Roll call. Commissioners, would you announce your presence?
Hail Nations here.
Hi, Robin here.
Ballard here.
Do we have any other? Is Commissioner Conway present? Will Commissioner Conway be joining us? Does anyone know?
I am. I'm right here.
Oh,
He's
oh,
here. He's here.
oh, great. Okay, we have everyone. Does anybody have a conflict of interest? Hearing none, let's move on to the key agenda item here. I call the meeting so that we could talk about these two pieces of legislation and future legislation that we have here in Arizona. During my discussions with the legislature, I was informed that since there hadn't been a commission vote on support of these things or to some of these areas, that I could only speak on my behalf, even though I'm the lobbyist for the commission, and Commissioner Ballard is in the same situation. And whoever has the background noise, could you please mute unless you're going to speak?
Yes. This is Wendy Flood. If you can, everybody can mute, please, except for who's speaking. Thank you.
Thank you. So I called a meeting to talk about this legislation. Both 1773 and 1444 are effectively dead as far as running through the normal legislative process. The only way that they would have any opportunities to pass is through the budget process this year. However, that doesn't mean that they shouldn't or won't come up in the next legislative session, which of course doesn't start till next year. But the legislative discussions will start, are ongoing and represented for bills in August, September timeframe. I have supported both of these bills, as I've mentioned in the past, and I know that we have had votes with previous commissioners on this type of legislation in the past in supporting it. So one of the bills, 1444, was exclusively eliminating a aquifer protection permit for helium-produced wells. That was also mentioned in 1733, although 1733 added many other things to that. I This did not eliminate our regulatory process within the Oil and Gas Commission. Now, as we move forward, there's going to be various now or in the future amendments to these bills that could affect how the tone or the effectiveness of them. Like in the 1444, they've added an amendment to try to put it through in the budget process that, quite candidly, in my view, is similar to what's already in place for an approval process to be able to have the director of DEQ authorize an exception to the aquifer protection permit. I personally think this is not good. But again, what I'm really looking for is a vote to support these bills or oppose them. I personally, again, as I support them, and the ability, more importantly, to be able to support all of the things that are in in the 1733 bill and similar kinds of things for me to be able to lobby on behalf of the commission to achieve these kinds of goals in the future. And there may be worded differently or slight variations, but given the legislature, I have to have the ability to be able to talk to them and represent the commission in the commission's behalf on these types of things. So I need to get a broad support to be able to move this type of agenda forward, and to have some flexibility to maybe change a few of these things. Now, I don't have, has everybody read these particular bills?
Yes, here.
Okay.
I have.
Does anybody have any questions about them?
I do.
Go ahead,
This
Commissioner
is
Nations.
Commissioner Nations.
Go ahead.
The 1444 confuses me a bit. That's still under the control of the environmental regulations
Yes,
commission. Is that right?
that is correct.
Why is it not transferred to the Oil and Gas Commission?
Well,
If that is established.
that, and quite candidly, the bill was originally just to do away with the DEQ's need to ask for a aquifer protection permit. And this got changed, and I don't particularly, in fact, don't like the amendment to it. I don't think it's changes anything. It's the commissioner already of DEQ already had that authority. And what really transpired was that DEQ was opposed to that. They weren't so much opposed to 1733. They were opposed to getting rid of the aquifer protection permit exemption. And there was other parties there too that they were afraid that there would be pollution and that type of thing. So that was an amendment to try to, by a legislator, to try to get it through. I wasn't able to speak on that behalf because it happened without my knowledge that they put that in. And given that I can't speak on the commission's behalf because DEQ had said we don't have a vote, I could only speak on my own behalf. That's why I called this, so I could talk to these people about that at the legislature. The 1733 eliminated that as well, and so that it was strictly on the Oil and Gas Commission to make those decisions on what was needed and what wasn't with regard to the rules. In fact, the 1733 went on to a number of other things that transferred the Oil and Gas Commission out of DEQ and set it up individually. It allowed us to set our own fees, enforcement. It allowed us to collect money from the federal government. It had allowed for a whole variety of things, as I'm sure you saw on those 10 things. Does that answer your question, Dale?
It did that, but now I have another one. With the commission being established in 1733, which I think is a good thing, finally. So I certainly approve of that. But I have a couple of questions about it. It provides for 5-year appointments for commissioners. If this passes eventually, first of all, you said it's dead.
Commissioner Nations, it's dead unless it gets through the budget process.
So how does that affect the current commissioners? Will they be considered for reappointments, or I assume our 5 years are already up for all of us? I don't know.
It doesn't affect the commissioners at anything. This would only be in the future. It has, and as it would continue on basically as it is.
Okay, so that answers that one. There's a specification there for compensation for commissioners, but it doesn't specify what the compensation is. Is that to be determined by the legislature, or should that be established from 0.0.
That would be established by the commission within the commissioners in a vote on how that would work. But again, all of this is, that would be how it would be done.
All right. Thank you.
Other commissioners, questions, please. Commissioner Conway, any thoughts?
Oh, I apologize. I'm having trouble with my machine today.
That's
Chairman Thorwald, this is Mike Conway. I'm just curious, is there any further information about how the federal government is going to handle the funds for the Orphan Wells program? It sounds like they're still up in the air about that.
To some degree, yes, they are up in the air, and that's not directly on this agenda, but the answer is yes, they're still up in the air, and but I've been told by the AZOGCC that it's going to remain in place. Whether that is correct or not, but that's the latest thing the AZOGCC has.
Right. Would that, if it were not the case, how would that impact 1733? Would there be sufficient funds for the commission to move forward on its own?
Well, part of the what is not mentioned in here and was planned to be separate within the 1733 was additional funding through the budget process to support the commission.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Commissioner Ballard, any thoughts?
Well, I've had a chance to review all the bills in detail, and I know it's a little confusing now what form these will take when we finally get to advocate or use the representation of the commission to advocate for them. But everything I see are improvements. So I certainly agree with both bills. If the details change, the details change. But the basic idea of removing double regulation for helium wells is the key to 1444 and is included in 1733. We have already got regulation under the commission, and to have parallel regulations is just a costly and unnecessary situation for our operators. So I'm already in support. So if anybody wants to question me on as to why or any details, I'd be glad to answer.
Any questions for Commissioner Ballard? Commissioner Firerobbin, any questions from your perspective? Any comments?
No.
Then I would like to have a vote to allow myself and Commissioner Ballard to speak on behalf of the commission in support of these bills prior to the amendment for 1444 and variation to be able to negotiate variations of these things on the behalf of the commission, as long as it was within the same vein as what is contained within 1733, to be able to set that up for within the rest of this session to maybe move something through on the process associated with the budget and submit things for the next legislative section. And that is my motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a second. I'm going to do something I don't usually do. I'm going to ask for a roll call on this vote. How do you vote, Commissioner Firebrand?
Yes.
How do you vote, Commissioner Conway?
Aye.
How do you vote, Commissioner Ballard?
Aye.
How do you vote, Commissioner Nations?
Aye.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Now, does anybody else have any?
Those are crucial aspects to me.
Commissioner Thorwald, I didn't hear a yay or nay from you. And so
Thank you. Yay, yes. Thank you. That you're absolutely correct. I made the mess there. I vote aye for this as well. So it's unanimous.
this is the AG's office. Thank you very much, Commissioner Thorwald.
Thank you. Before we move on, is there any other comments or questions about what we just voted on? Hearing none, I will open this up to a call from the public. Is there anybody that would like to address the commission? There does not seem to be anybody in the public that wants to address the commission. So we'll move on to item 4. This meeting of the Arizona Oil and Gas Conservation Commission is adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thank you, commissioners.